Well, it's about to get a little hot in the studio, steamy. We're talking about why women cheat.
A newly revised book, it's called A Passion for More, Affairs That Make or Break Us, actually explores what is said to be a skyrocketing rate of female infidelity.
Joining us now is author Susan Shapiro Barish. Thank you so much for being with us. And I know you've written like 13 nonfiction books about women and different topics and stuff. So you're the aficionado on this subject.
Well, there's nothing more curious than how women lead their lives versus how they really feel. So it's been quite a study. And you're right that 90% of the women had no remorse in this study. And I talked with women who are between early 20s up to over 80, if you can believe it.
90% of women?
These are women in search of what will make them feel fulfilled and in many cases really disillusioned with their marriages or longstanding relationships.
I gotta say, I feel like this book, or at least the findings of it, it made me kind of sad. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, really? Is this it? But like, you're saying it's different today. The world has changed. And is that a good thing that you found that most women don't even feel guilty?
I am reporting, Carol, so I'm neither condemning nor condoning. I'm saying here's what's happening. It's happening at a great rate. COVID also really changed it. And there were many virtual emotional affairs during this time. And women were really asking themselves, is this all there is? You know, life is scary. What about that guy I had a crush on at work? What about the boyfriend I did not marry or never got to live with?
Now, that's very interesting, Susan. You just mentioned a good point. Are we talking about just, not that there's a lot of, between an emotional affair or an actually physical sexual affair?
We're talking about both, Scott. We're talking about women who find the old flame or someone they always liked on the internet. And there are so many ways to have access today. And we're talking about women in real time who have very busy lives and careers and in many cases children, and they still find time to meet the lover and they make that a part of their week, their day, as they choose.
That was an immediate question I thought. I'm like, who has time for this? But you say there are 4 types of affairs. We just had it on the screen. Maybe we can go back to it. But basically, I guess 4 reasons that women cheat.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. So here are my 4 types of affairs. Empowering affairs, where the women really feel in charge. They trade in the same currency as men have always traded in. They can have boy toys. They travel. They can manage it. Sex-driven affairs, pretty self-explanatory. So these are women who want no emotional connection. Most likely are not getting enough sex in the primary relationship or marriage. And so that's what they're seeking. Love affairs, the trickiest of all in the study, because this is about a woman who walks into a party, sees a man, and life changes. They instantly fall in love, what we call a thunderbolt. That's a real triangle and very tricky. And self-esteem affairs, we all know as relationships go on, the years go on, women start to feel not appreciated, invisible. And so they're saying this lover, this other man makes me feel special and important.
And Susan, do you think this is a catalyst to leave a marriage or just a little segue and then they come back and they stay in the relationship?
Well, for many women, it's really a personal wake-up call. It's almost a journey. And about 50% stay and about 50% leave. So it really reflects the divorce rate in America. But only 35% of the women in my study end up with the lover. And that's very interesting because sometimes the lover, as I said, is a wake-up call or a bridge to another experience.
And how, just quickly, how big was the study, Susan?
I'm sorry, how did I conduct it?
How big was it? What sample size?
So this is a diverse group of women all across the country, every state, all different ages, as I mentioned, ethnicity, race, religion, level of education. And we're talking about a longing. So it really isn't about where you live or even the commitment you've made. You know, I don't think there's a woman who walks down the aisle saying, gee, I wonder when I'll have my first affair. But this is what happens in our culture.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, you say, the book says you've interviewed thousands, so and talked to lots of people, psychologists, and women in the field. So the book is out now, A Passion for More. As you said, you're not condoning or condemning. This is just the state of the affair.
The state of the affair, no pun intended.
Thank you so much, Susan. And you can find out more information at Susan Shapiro Barash, which is right up on the screen.com.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you so much.
All right.